Pop Warner Football Super Bowl. Pop Warner Football Super Bowl.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 4th annual Pop Warner Football Super Bowl. I'm Christian Stevens. Today Lynn Schmidt and I will join expert commentators Chris Collins, Scott Berry, and sideline reporter Craig Jackson as we travel to Mountain View, California to bring you highlights of this year's most prestigious youth football championship.
Teams from all over America competed in regional playoffs to determine who would represent their Pop Warner age and weight division in this national competition. These divisions are the Junior Pee-wees, the Pee-wees, the Junior Midgets, and the Midgets.
Today's games will feature America's top 2 junior midget teams, and then at halftime we'll present highlights from the other 3 championship games.
Now, let's go down to the field and meet our play-by-play commentators, Chris Collins and former San Francisco 49er quarterback, Scott Berry. Chris?
Thanks, Lynn. Welcome to sunny Northern California for our feature game today, pitting the undefeated Bolingbrook, Illinois Trojans taking on the Oak Cliff, Texas Redskins.
That's right, Chris, and this promises to be quite a battle for the national championship. You know, Oak Cliff has quite a reputation for turning out world-class youth football teams, and they've been here before.
They certainly have. And before today's start of the game, let's go down to our sideline reporter, Craig Jackson. Craig!
Thanks, Chris. Today I'll be on hand with some up-close and personal interviews with today's outstanding players. And now, back to the studio.
Okay, Craig, good job. The Pop Warner program is designed to introduce young players to the fundamentals of football while developing their skills in the classroom. In fact, team players had to maintain good grades in school to qualify for these national championships.
That's right, Christian, and it's all come down to this. The 2 top junior midget teams in America who've worked so hard and played so well all season finally meet helmet to helmet to decide who's going to be this year's Super Bowl champion. Now, as the teams take to the field, let's join Chris and Scott for the kickoff. Guys?
Welcome, everybody. It's Nickelodeon's National Championship Junior Midget Pop Warner Football. My name is Chris Collins, along with the former San Francisco 49er quarterback and Cal Davis All-American quarterback Scott Berry. Good to have you along sunny Northern California. This late in December, there are no storm clouds around. The weather is perfect for football, Scott.
It's a great day out here. We're getting that sunny California weather is shining down on us.
Our average age today is 13 and 14 years old today, playing in this game, representing the Bolingbrook Trojan football team from Illinois, and taking on the Oak Cliff Redskins. They come from just outside of Dallas, Texas. So what promises to be a battle of Illinois and Texas today here on Nickelodeon. Enriquez is on to kick, boots the ball off, kicks it back to about the 18-yard line where it's taken, up to the 20. Man almost slips and falls down at the 30, cuts back and is buried underneath right there at the close to the 30-yard line, about the 29-yard line. Making the tackle was Darrell Linsmith for Bolingbrook. As our friends from Oak Cliff come out, outside of Dallas, they come out 1st and 10 now outside the 29-yard line. And if you haven't followed Pop Warner football, you're in for a big surprise because the rules are a bit different here, and they should be for our younger athletes out here. At this young age, they play things a little bit differently. For instance, when they score touchdowns, there are 2 points if you can kick the ball over the crossbar, and there's 1 if you can run it in. And you'll see lots of different running formations here also. They go through their exercises here. 1st and 10 handoff, straight up the middle. Man is roughed up right at the center of the snap, Scott, for a no gain at all. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
Number 70, Dale White, blowing right up the middle, right through the offensive line, making a nice stop in the backfield. If that is an omen of things to come, I think they're going to have to run outside as opposed to right up the middle like they did.
Yeah, just like in the professional ranks and collegiate and high school ranks, momentum has everything to do with this game. We're glad to have you along today on Nickelodeon. Junior Midget National Championship. 2nd down and long now. There's a handoff and a fumble right away. The ball squirted up the middle. We'll see who's got it. And it is a turnover. It's a turnover, the first turnover of the game, 2nd snap of the game, Scott. The ball is turned over, and it's a fumble, and it's a big play this early in the game.
Chris, we can see in slow motion here. The running back, it's a mishandle on the exchange between the quarterback and number 32, who is...
Didn't see his name on the roster there.
Okay, well, anyway, we just had him, he mishandled the snap, and what did it? Bounced off his knee. Here we go for a new play for the Trojans.
1st and 10 now for Bolingbrook. Lone man in the backfield, handed off to him. Man goes forward for about 3 on the play. Call it 2nd down and 7. Yard line was about the 30 and a half yard line. Man takes the ball down to about the 27. Ryan Taylor with a nice heads up, straight up the middle run. So it's a 2nd down and 7 now for Bolingbrook. So they take advantage of an early turnover like that. And again, like in the big guys leagues here, these turnovers can be deadly.
They can.
2nd down now. Backs are split. There's a give off to the tailback again, who's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. May have fallen forward for about a yard. Taking the ball that time was Dan Simic. Simic goes forward for a yard, so it's 3rd down and long here. And we have been told that even in junior midget here with the 12 and 13-year-olds, they like to throw the football sometimes. They like to toss the pumpkin downfield. So
we've heard that, but they're both starting out very conservative, much like the heavyweight bout where each opponent is filling each other out to start off with. Hopefully they'll put it in the air. It's such a nice day. You hate to see them waste the weather here.
Coming from the ex-quarterback, that doesn't surprise me. You saw Marvin Sutton talking to head coach Gary Linsmith about this play. It's 3rd down and long. Sutton gives the ball off. First man through goes down to about the 25-yard line. He'll be about 5 short. Taking the ball again was Taylor. Taylor gets down to the... I'm sorry, he's at the 30-yard line. He went from the 35. The line of scrimmage was the 35. My mistake. Down to the 30. So in 3 handoffs, Scott, about 4.5 yards that time. Nothing really cute.
Well, they're playing it conservative. I'd like to see him take our guy Marvin Sutton and drop him back and see what he's got in his arm.
Looks like he's got some speed there. He can move around the pocket. 4th down now. They're going to punt. Or they're lining up to punt right now. You see that they have a deep backfield there to protect any late rushes in. Almost jumped off sides. Now wait, somebody may have come off. Here's a flag right now. It looked like the left side of the line, Scott, came off sides for our friends from Oak Cliff. I'm trying to look at the replay on that. I think he came right up off sides. We'll wait for the officials' call here right now. Yeah, offsides against Oak Cliff. So they're going to march. That'll be this brings up an interesting concept now. You're going to come up 4th down and a half yard here. Do you still punt or do you run the ball?
Well, at this level, I think with the kind of kicking games that you have, a field goal being out of the question, I'd like to see them take a shot at it and go for it.
I think they're going to do that. I think they heard you, Scott. Marvin Sutton is taking the instructions from Coach Linsmith. He's come back out. He's brought the offense back out. So it's a 4th and a half yard here. Been slow to change the yard markers on the side, but we're 4th down and a half yard now. Sutton comes up underneath center. Keeps the ball on the quarterback keeper and gets the 1st down. Down for about 2 yards, 2 or 3 yards. Down to about the 22-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 now as Bolingbrook continues their drive on after a penalty. So we've seen the turnover and an early penalty both really hurt this Oak Cliff team.
They sure have, and you can credit that last quarterback sneak that we just saw in slow motion there to the offensive line. Great surge up the middle. Our buddy Marvin Sutton just had to follow him.
Backs are split now, 1st and 10. Sutton on the give, right up the middle, straight ahead hitter, goes for about 6 before he's finally wrestled down by a couple of people. Simic that time just really wrestled his way up for a couple of extra yards, Scott. He was hit about 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, carried his man down an extra 3.5 yards, and was finally tackled after a 7-yard gain.
I tell you, Bolingbrook's got some tough runners, Simic being one of them, taking the ball up the middle. Interestingly enough, we had an offensive line there of probably about a total of 500 pounds with the big surge.
And he ran the correct style, too. Kept his shoulders square and his head down and his body bent over. That's the way to keep his head up so he didn't get popped. Now, it looks like maybe the defense jumped again here, Oak Cliff. We'll have to wait and see. Which could it be that these young quarterbacks have great barking signals like you did with the 49ers and with the Aggies?
It could be. Maybe Marvin Sutton is the old slipper out there and throwing in a few signals a la Boomer Esiason.
And we'll have to give us an example of that later on, because you heard a lot of that during the NFL season. You heard a lot about that. It was against Oak Cliff, so they march 5 off, and it gets a 1st down now for our friends from Bolingbrook. They are 1st and 10 now at about the 11-yard line. They can get a 1st down at the 1. Sutton throws the ball over the middle, got his man into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Bolingbrook. Catching the ball was Darrell Linsmith, the Sun's coach. The coach of the son of the coach, he catches the ball. Sutton gets the pass over the middle. That was almost like a hot read for a professional quarterback, wasn't it?
It sure was. I have a feeling it probably wasn't a hot read. What it reminded me of was the old jump pass where the quarterback stood up, jumped over the line. In Marvin Sutton's case, he probably did jump and throw it right to that tight end.
There it is. You're seeing the replay.
There you can see.
Leaps right up and hits Linsmith. Linsmith catches the ball, squares his shoulders up, and leaps for that end zone line and gets it. So I'm sorry, Scott.
No, I was just going to say, as you can see on that replay,
there's the extra point try. Snap is fumbled, the ball is kicked away, and it's no good. So it'll stay 6-0 now. 6-0 Bolingbrook jumps on the early lead here. The Junior Midget National Championship coming to you from Northern California on Nickelodeon. Enriquez is going to kick the ball off right now. Victor Enriquez into the boot now. There's the boot. Nice kick that time by Enriquez. Good hang time. It's taken back at the 20. Return to the 25, up to the 30. Good return all the way up to the 36-yard line. Oak Cliff gets some good field position that time after a good kick that time by Enriquez. Eddie Hayward was the man returning the ball for Oak Cliff. And the Redskins out of Texas near Dallas start off now 1st and 10. They're going to try to atone for that turnover, Scott. Okay, here comes Oak Cliff. They say, we want to take advantage of that. 1st and 10, handoff up the middle. Man breaks one tackle, two, and is spun down. After forward progress, gets him down to about the 43-yard line. Carrying the ball that time was at the 32. Andre Butler took the ball that time.
Nice little running play up the middle, gets you 3 yards, but I don't think it's going to be long before we see Kenneth Buford II putting the ball in the air to the likes of Billy Jackson.
Yeah, the run that time was going to make them honest. You know, in the last series, they passed 3 successive times with men open, so they're trying to keep people honest. They pick up 4 on the play. It's 2nd and 6 now. 2nd and 6. Buford under the center, gives off to his man who gets outside and is tripped up. That's Eddie Hayward. Hayward had a slot outside, Scott, but it was quickly covered up by 3 or 4 Bolingbrook defensive player. Tracy Quint was the man who came in and had the great pursuit that time.
And there's a close-up shot of Eddie Hayward.
Eddie Hayward that time had some good moves. He looked a little bit like Marcus Allen that time, didn't he?
The slipper?
Call him the slipper, that's right.
Eddie, the slipper, Hayward.
Every time someone wants to tackle him, he slips away. 3rd down and 5. Big play now for this Oak Cliff Redskins team. They need to put some consistency together here. So far, they have yet to do that. Buford, back to pass. Here comes the rush. He throws it away as he's hit. I think they'll just call it incomplete. Apparently, it looked like he was trying to get away from the defensive player who had him in the grasp. Dale White was the man who had great pursuit that time, but it goes for naught. Ball is thrown away. You see on the replay, straight drop back by Buford. Now he senses the trouble, and at the last second throws it away. Almost could have got a face masking penalty that time. It's good the defensive player let go of the face mask, Scott.
You know, Christian, what they were doing there? They were setting up a screen. He was faking a pass downfield just by raising his arm. That was their fake, and they were letting the defensive lineman through. Offensive lineman didn't hold him quite long enough, and he got some pressure. At the college level, high school level, probably the professional level, they would have called that intentional grounding. I would take it under these circumstances, they pretty much just let it go.
They're going for it on 4th down now. Full house backfield. Back to pass Buford, sets up, now he's in trouble and sacked back at midfield. Buford goes down, again great defense by Bolingbrook, making the play with Sean Galloway. Galloway, Scott, was back in the backfield before Buford knew where the football was, and I'm sure you have some experiences with the defensive people coming in and handing you lunch and dinner, don't you?
Well, none that I want to remember. But being that you bring it up, Buford didn't have much of a chance on that play. If they're he's had pressure now on about half the passing plays that they've run. One way to get away from that, they can roll him out, and I think that'll probably be something we'll see him do, is start rolling him out to get him out from behind that center and all that pressure.
And I believe we have the end of the first quarter here. End of the first quarter, look at the scoreboard. 6-0, 6-0, Bolingbrook. The Trojans are leading over Oak Cliff. And it's been one exciting first quarter here.
And there's a lot more excitement to come, so stay tuned. You're watching the best kids sports in America, only on Nickelodeon.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, the Bolingbrook, Illinois Trojans are leading the Oak Cliff, Texas Redskins 6-0 in a battle for the Pop Warner Football National Championship. Now let's go down to the field where reporter Craig Jackson has caught up with the Redskins quarterback Ken Buford. Craig?
All right, you've thrown a lot of incomplete passes, and you were sacked once. What do you think you have to do to win this game?
Well, maybe I should tell the line to block double team a certain man, and maybe I can get my passes out more better.
Okay, you had to run the ball one time. Do you feel that you could have broke that for a touchdown at all?
I'm not sure, because usually my coach just tells me to fall down so I won't get hurt.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I'm very impressed with the two quarterbacks here. Both have very strong arms for people of their size. They're both very agile. They've made some nice reads. They run the ball well. I'm very impressed with them.
All right, that's Buford underneath center. 2nd down and 6 now. Gain of 4 on that previous scramble. Buford gives the pitch. They're pitching left. Man cuts it back up the middle. He's got about 3, 4, maybe 4.5 yards in the play. It'll bring up about 3rd down and 3.5. 3rd down and 3.5 for Oak Cliff. Good pursuit that time. Chris Hayden made the tackle for Bolingbrook. They lead here 6-0 with 7.5 left in the first half here. Exciting junior midget national championship football from Nickelodeon. Chris Collins and Scott Berry, glad to be with you today. Third down, 3.5 now for Oak Cliff. Redskins go through their motion there, the line of scrimmage. Everybody's set. Backs are split. There's a handoff on the delay. 1st down and more. 1st down and more. He could go all the way. He's up at midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. He's looking for an angle. He's going to get dragged down to the 10. He avoids it. He's in. Touchdown. An incredible run that time. Touchdown. Oak Cliff, man, talk about an angle that this kid ran. Incredible run. Andre Butler uses about 100 yards of the field, Scott, to run over 60 yards that time, and we're tied at 6.
Boy, it looked for, we can see on the replay here, it's just a straight play up the middle. Gets a couple nice blocks, cuts it back to the left right there, avoids a tackler. Number 30, Dino De Pasquale is going to give chase all the way down to the goal line, just not enough.
I thought he had him here angled. From our vantage point, it looked like he would step out of bounds. De Pasquale then, as you see here on the close-up of that, De Pasquale had the angle. I thought maybe he should have jumped here to try to ankle tackle him, Scotty. I think he waited a little bit too long. Beautiful run by Butler, and we're tied 6-6, and they'll be going for the 1-point extra conversion now. In Pop Warner, if you run the ball in successfully, it's 1 point. There's the pass, and it's incomplete, a little bit short. If you kick the ball through the uprights, it's 2 points, so that's different than collegiate ranks and high school ranks.
Right, and the basic reason for that is to promote the kicking game.
6:49 left here in the first half. We're tied at 6 now. Just like that, we had that touchdown run here.
You were down by 6, and your touchdown tied the score. How do you feel about that?
I was very excited. And plus, it was a long run, and I was very excited.
All right, the defender was breathing down the back of your neck and stuff. What were you thinking about when he was right behind you, about to tackle you?
I was just thinking about going for the touchdown. I wasn't worried about him.
Just thinking about getting in the end zone?
Yes.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Craig. Well, the second quarter is already underway, so let's join Chris and Scott for the action. The Bolingbrook Trojans are on the drive. Chris, tell us what's happening.
3rd and long, about 9.5 now. Backs are split. Over the middle, hot read, got his man Lindstrom. 1st down, gain of 11 on the play. Beautiful. Lindstrom that time on the same exact play that ran into the end zone from 11 yards out for the touchdown. This time, 3rd and 9. Scott, they run the same play, they get 10.5.
They sure do. That's the exact same play they scored on the touch that they used for the touchdown. Marvin Sutton right here with the quick flick over the middle to his tight end. Marvin Sutton with a nice quick release.
And Lindstrom gets it. He knows the yardage he had to get also. Heads up receiving and running after he gets the ball. It's 1st and 10. Sutton keeps. I think that time, Scott, it looked as though it may have been a blown play that time, and Sutton realized it and just laid up on the ball.
It was actually the exact same play they just ran the play before, but he was trying to throw it to the left side, and his man was covered, and he wisely hung on to the football.
So no gain. 2nd and 10 now. Up near midfield with the 4:30 and counting left here in the first half. We're tied at 6. Marvin Sutton talks things over with head coach Gary Linsmith, and he's back now. This Bolingbrook, a Trojan team, has moved the ball well here today. Backs are split. Sutton gives off to Simic again. Simic's got about 5. Past midfield down to the 47-yard line. 4.5, 5 on the play will bring up a 3rd down and 6.5 for Bolingbrook.
You know what's fun to do, Chris, is we look at these little guys, and they remind me of people that have played through the history of the game. I look at Simic, and the first thing that comes to my head is Larry Zonka pounding it up the middle. Simic being the workhorse, the guy who has to keep the defense honest and bang heads up in the middle.
Learning it at a young age, isn't he? Third down, 6.5. Sutton's work's cut out for him. Gives off. Man's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, good pursuit that time. Led by Gregory Combs, so forth. Di Pasquale, Dino, that time, Double D had nowhere to run. No gain at all. Fourth down, 6.5 for Bolingbrook. So that time a good read by the interior line on the defense of Oak Cliff. There you see Oak Cliff head coach Larry Oliver out there, letting his junior midgets know that they need to play tight defense here. Fourth down. Sutton brings up the Trojans now. Backs are split. Sutton back to pass. Now he's wheeling right. Under pressure. Throws. Incomplete. Well, they were looking maybe once too many times to the well that time, Scott Barry. He was looking for Lynn Smith out there, and Lynn Smith, of course, caught the touchdown pass. He caught the big 10.5-yarder for the first down. That time, Lynn Smith, I think, had good position. He was underneath the coverage, but the ball just wasn't long enough.
This is not a great throw that time. One thing there, they rolled out, which we were hoping we'd see him do because he was getting some pressure up the middle from the defensive line. However, when you're on the right hash mark and you roll out to the right-hand side, there's not a heck of a lot of room over there. You might want to run that play the other way.
That's right.
So you got some room to run around.
Short side is always dangerous. You know, it's interesting. Short side, when it works, it usually works tremendously for you. And when it fails, you look really dumb. So change of possession now. Oak Cliff takes over, 1st and 10, right near midfield. We'll see if the momentum is with them after that big touchdown run. Back to pass now. 1st and 10, got a man open outside, incomplete. That time Buford was looking for a wide receiver, Billy Jackson. With the coverage was Chris Hayden. Remember now, you're going to hear names called both ways today because in Pop Warner, most of the players, if not all of them, at one time or another play both ways. And that time Buford, as you see, back to passer, had his man open, could have probably delayed a second and waited, and he just missed Jackson there off the fingertips. If he had waited, Scott, maybe another half second or so, he could have put another a little more float under that ball, and his man had enough room to get the ball and get out of bounds.
He did. He's not getting a heck of a lot of time to throw the football, and he's got to make some quick decisions.
2nd down, just near midfield. 2:59 left here in the first half. Back to pass, setting, throwing downfield, got a man open, incomplete. Open downfield was Gregory Combs. Combs that time ran into coverage man who was Matt Jeselowski. Jeselowski, as you see, is limping a little bit. He tripped along with Combs just a bit, and that threw Combs off, as you see in the replay. Buford back to pass, lots of time, sets up, throws downfield. Right there was the trip. It slowed Combs down just a bit. Jeselowski has a little stinger on the side of his leg. Goes for naught. It's 3rd down and 10. Oak Cliff Redskins, Bolingbrook Trojans. Junior Midget National Championship. Just near midfield. 3rd down and 10. Buford underneath center. Full house backfield. Gives the pitch. Out of the backfield. Man's got 6 yards out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Carrying the ball is a man who's been carrying it a lot for Oak Cliff. That's Eddie Hayward. And Hayward gained 6 on the play.
Hayward looks good.
Double D. Dino made the play. I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
You can see Hayward here running the ball. He's a nice, shifty little runner. I like to see him get the ball a few more times. He runs. He looks mature. He runs more like what you'd see at the high school level or even further up.
Watch his shoulders. That's always been a key that I've been told by all the great coaches and running backs. If a back is really mature, they'll use those shoulders and use their hips in motion with those shoulders to really juke the defense. 4th down and 3. They're going for it. Oak Cliff. Man breaks a tackle out of the backfield. He's got the 1st down. I think he got it there. He's got more. He's down to the 30. And he, I think, stepped out of bounds at the 20. Looked like he stepped out of bounds at the 27, but they say no. They marked him out of bounds at the 24. Outstanding run that time. Guess who? Eddie Hayward. There you go. Hayward that time. Beautiful bit of what you were talking about, that maturity as you watch, Scott. Watch him start and stop here now. Look. He'll stop here the first time you saw that. Now he'll break outside. Now he'll give a look here. He lets up. That stops his man. He puts the speed back on, as you see here, down the sidelines. Looked as he almost stepped out there, but he kept his foot, and that wasn't out of bounds, and went down finally at the 24. Beautiful bit of running that time.
You don't teach somebody that.
No, I mean, that's instinct right there. 1st and 10 from the 24. Handoff up the middle, man, big yardage that time. Taking the ball is Butler, and Butler's finally rammed back. They'll mark him, I believe, down to about the 15-yard line. As you see the replay here now, there's a handoff. Buford gives the ball off to Butler. Butler straight up the middle, shoulders squared, head down, and he's met by 5 or 6 Bolingbrook Trojans. Here we go, 51 seconds left now in the first half. They are 2 short, about 1.5 yards short of the first down. They're about 4 from the end zone. We're tied at 6. We're set now. Buford underneath center now. Big play. Gives off to his man, who's hit immediately. Crunched at the line of scrimmage was Butler. Oh, nice play that time. Couple of people came in. Ryan Taylor came in on the play, and Sean Galloway. They both combined to stuff the play. And you saw that there right in your own living room, folks. That was just perfect textbook defensive football, wasn't it?
It sure was. Great. You can see here on the replay.
Galloway is in the backfield, Scott, before poor Butler even knew what hit him.
Well, either somebody missed an assignment or Galloway just knocked somebody down.
And they won't go for the field goal. They're going to go for the first down and hopefully the touchdown in their own minds. Oak Cliff comes up now with Kenneth Buford, the second, underneath center. Full house backfield now.
So we can roll him out here.
Gives off to first man, who is crunched right at the line of scrimmage, Eddie Hayward. Hayward goes for maybe a half yard, and Oak Cliff turns the ball over. Victor Enriquez came up and made the play, and they will turn it over on downs now. So an outstanding defensive job done by the Bolingbrook Trojan Football Club in this Junior Midget National Championship. 36 seconds remaining, 36 ticks on the clock remaining in the first half, and we're tied at 6. That was a beautiful defensive stand.
It sure was. You got to give Bolingbrook a lot of credit on that, what we would call a goal line stand. One thing on that last play would have been nice if we could have seen Kenneth Buford roll out in a situation where you've got 7 or 8 yards to go.
It would have been nice. 1st and 10 now, and the quarterback Marvin Sutton will sit down on that ball with under 10 seconds left here. They're gonna let the clock run out here. 6-5. Okay, we're gonna let it run out here and end the first half tied. The Junior Midget National Championship. The Oak Cliff Redskins from Oak Cliff, Texas have 6. The Bolingbrook Trojan Football Club from Illinois have 6. We're tied 6-6 here on Nickelodeon.
When we come back, we'll show you highlights from the 3 other Pop Warner National Championship games before returning you to the final showdown between the terrifying Trojans and the ruthless Redskins.
Super Bowl.
Hello again. We're bringing you the Pop Warner Football Junior Midget Super Bowl here on Nickelodeon. But this Junior Midget game isn't the only national championship decided in Pop Warner football. There are 3 other age and weight divisions. Let's take a look at some highlights from the other 3 championship games.
In the youngest division of Pop Warner play, the Winston-Salem, North Carolina Greyhounds met the Charlotte County, Florida Warriors in a battle for the Junior Pee Wee Division Championship. Here, Sean Williford scampers around right end to produce one of the Greyhounds' 2 touchdowns. But the Warriors refused to sign a treaty and retaliated with a touchdown run up the middle by Desmond Louis to make it a close game. Then in a valiant effort to get the ball back on the kickoff, the Warriors succeeded in a risky onside kick, but couldn't hold on as time ran out. So after a hard-fought battle, the Winston-Salem Greyhounds became this year's Junior Pee Wee champions with a score of 13-6.
Two California teams met head-on to determine this year's Pee Wee Division Championship. In a well-balanced passing and running attack, Southern California Palos Verdes Mavericks faced an awesome defense supplied by the Northern California Black Knights of Sunnyvale. There were plenty of turnovers in this duel to become America's best Pee Wee Division football team. After all, Mavericks came here with a record of 11 wins and no losses, while the Black Knights were also undefeated in regular season play. But when the chips were down, Maverick halfback Marty Cheatham plunged into the end zone to give Palos Verdes the win with a score of 6-0. Both Both teams deserve congratulations for their hard-fought effort and good sportsmanlike conduct. In the midget division, the Danbury, Connecticut Trojans faced another East Coast champion, the Northwood, Maryland Rams. Midway through the second quarter, Trojan quarterback Quinzel Barnes tossed a 12-yard pass to wide receiver Jesus Penelberg, who took it in for the first score. Then, with 1:04 left in the half, the Trojans struck again when Maurice Rosado took a handoff from Barnes and went over the left tackle for a second TD. And things really got out of hand when, just before the half, Barnes kept the ball and swept around end to score the Trojans' third touchdown. The Rams' only threat came when Damian Cockrell connected with end Mike Cesar on a spectacular 42-yard pass play. But the highlight of the game came on this 60-yard ramble by Trojan halfback Maurice Rosado.
Almost a wing tee. There's a handoff up the middle. Rosado breaks 1, 2, 3. He's on his way. This is an amazing run. 60 yards after a broken tackle. Touchdown as a flag comes out in the end zone.
When the smoke had cleared, the Danbury, Connecticut Trojans took home the trophy.
Before we go to the second half of the Junior Midget Championship, Craig Jackson is standing by with Coach Oliver of the Oak Cliff Redskins.
Your team was down by 6, and that touchdown tied the score. What do you feel that you have to do to win this game for your team?
All we have to do basically is just settle down and play football like we used to. We got a bad start. Everybody's kind of, jittery and we got to rush out here. So we just basically got to settle down and just play football. We got the game in our hands right now. The defense have taken over. Just a matter of time.
All right, your passing game was, a little incomplete passes and stuff. Are you going to change that, or are you going to stick with the pass?
Yes, we're going to have to change our routes a little bit. They're getting in the way and they're cutting off our routes like they might know them. What we're going to do is just change our routes and shorten them up or deepen them a little bit and complete some passes.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Nickelodeon presents the Junior Midget National Championship. Hi, I'm Chris Collins along with Scott Berry and sideline reporter Craig Jackson. Again, second half football now, tied 6-6 game. Today's been an interesting first half, Scott Berry. Oak Cliff and Bolingbrook out of Illinois. We've seen a lot of great running, a lot of great passing as our captains meet here to talk about the second half with the officials out on the field right now. Your opinion of the first half?
I thought the first half was interesting, exciting, full of a lot of ups and downs. We saw a couple of times teams go for first downs on fourth down, which was a little unexpected. Saw some great running of the football. We saw a couple quarterbacks with some real strong arms, didn't connect on too many passes, but I think we see a lot of potential out there. And I'm real excited. I'm looking forward to a couple big passing plays here in the second half.
All right, Oak Cliff will kick off. Returning, Dan and Dino, the two Ds are deep. There's a kick. It's sort of a squib kick. It's picked up at the 40 and returned back to the 45. Running room outside midfield. Past midfield, down to the 40. Out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Victor Enriquez that time took the right route, Scott. And what he did was, it looked like he held up, much like the stuttering we saw with some of the backs on Oak Cliff, waited for the pursuit to overrun him, and he ran the ball down for an extra 25 yards in the kickoff return.
He did improvise on that play. You can see him.
Look at him break right there and run right down outside. Beautiful bit of hesitation, as you would call it.
Showed a burst of speed there, too.
So they start off in great field position now. Bolingbrook looks at a 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle. Sutton gives to the first man through, who is caught 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Actually marked it at a yard loss here. We'll go second down and 11.5. Marvin Sutton gave the ball off that time. And again, Gary Coleman that time, not the actor. Gary Coleman back in the backfield that time.
This isn't different strokes.
They put it down at a loss of 2. Second down and 12 now. And Sutton comes up underneath center. Basic pro set now. Oh, I'm sorry, wing T. Wing T was the set. Ball is given away and it's fumble. There's a fumble on the play. That wing T formation. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion back there, as well as up here in the broadcast booth. Recovering the ball that time was Lindsey Jones. The handoff was given to Ryan Taylor, and Taylor coughed the ball up at the 41-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 now for Oak Cliff, and as you remember at the beginning of the first half, there was a big turnover on the part of Oak Cliff, which was later turned into 6 points by Bolingbrook, and here at the beginning of the second half, almost an automatic reversal. The ball's coughed up and recovered right there. 1st and 10 now, 8:50 and counting here in the third quarter. We're tied at 6. Buford underneath center, gives the ball off to his tailback. First man through, booms away for about 4 on the play. Taking the ball was Butler, and boy, good burst of energy that time, Scott Berry, by Butler to get that 4.5.
These three backs, the triple threat of Hayward, Butler, and Maxey continue to impress us. We've been told that Maxey is a sleeper of the bunch.
Right through the line of scrimmage, and boom, blew off the first tackler, who held on to make an ankle-saving tackle that time. You know, Butler breaks that tackle there, Scott. He's probably got some people on the run after him.
Sure does. What a nice spin move there.
Again, that's something you don't teach. That spin move, that kid's got to know. Instincts have got to tell him to do that. 2nd down, 5.5. Handoff up the middle. Same exact play, same man, Butler. Butler tackled, gang tackled down and stopped by about 5 Bolingbrook Trojan defensive players. And it looks like he got the first down. He's right at the marker. They say he's going to be about a half-yard short. So 3rd down and a half-yard now. Let's see if they go to the well a 3rd time. Boy, Butler is coming through the line of scrimmage so quickly, there's not much that Bolingbrook can do. 3rd down, half-yard.
Nice.
Just past midfield. There's a handoff. And taking the ball's Hayward. Hayward's got the first down and more. Outside and tripped up. Great tackle down at the 40-yard line. Taking the ball that time was Eddie Hayward. Making the tackle, Dino DiPasquale. And DiPasquale has made some great plays today. He has been out there on defense and offense both ways. And these kids get tired, but he came up with a heck of a play that time to stop Hayward. Look at Hayward. Burst through the line of scrimmage, break outside. Looks like he's got some big running room. Picks up about 8, and then his ankle grab down from behind. 3rd down, 7.5 now for Oak Cliff, seeing if they can do anything with that full house backfield. Back to passes, Buford sets up, throws downfield, got a man, caught! The ball is caught! Man still on his feet, great coverage down to the 10, the 5, touchdown, Oak Cliff! A great catch that time. Making the grab was Gregory Combs. Outstanding throw by Buford. Then Combs did the tightrope act like one of the Walendas down the sidelines. Touchdown.
What a great play. Nice throw by our man Kenneth Buford, the second right here, setting up, squares his feet, falling back a little bit, but slingshots the ball out there. The same play that they had the incompletion on last time, just over the defender. Gregory Combs makes a nice catch, keeps his balance, and the rest is history.
Enriquez almost had the ball. Almost. He missed by less than an inch. Amazing bit of balancing down the sidelines. And Oak Cliff, the Redskins of Texas, take the lead in this Junior Midget National Championship with 2:11 left in the third quarter. They lead 12-6. Going for the single extra point. There's a handoff in the backfield. Man sprints for the end zone. He leaps and makes it. They make the extra point. That's 1 point now. And Pop Warner, that's Eddie Hayward, by the way, went into the end zone. That's important. And Pop Warner running the ball into the end zone is 1 point. Kicking the ball through the uprights is 2 points. So we have a new game here. It's 13-6. Oak Cliff Redskins lead over the Bolingbrook, Illinois Trojan Football Club. And Bolingbrook's got their work cut out for them now. Beautiful pass that time. He talked about airing it right over Enriquez. You see him leap. A great catch that time by Combs, and then Combs down the sideline, keeps his balance, Scott. That's beautiful. As a quarterback, you got to like that. Just about the end of the third quarter here. 13-6. Oak Cliff leading Bolingbrook. There's a fake and a draw given to Taylor, and Taylor keeps good balance and gets up to about the 25. So it looked like Sutton was going to roll out and do that wheel to his right, Scott Berry, and he gave him the draw. Making the play again was Hayward, but Taylor got some good yardage, 8 yards on the play.
Brian Taylor's a tough little runner. He's doing a lot. We've seen him a number of times on defense. You can see him here taking a few hits, making a couple guys miss, and really finishes off the play, stretching for that extra yard.
Good balance we've seen here today, too. I'm amazed that 12 and 13-year-olds can balance themselves the way they do. Second down and short. In motion comes it back out of the backfield. Hey, quarterback keeper. Up to the first down marker. We'll see where they get. Lindsey Jones was the only man on that Oak Cliff defense that wasn't fooled. He stayed right with Marvin Sutton.
And Chris, I don't know if you saw in that last play, it's the second time Dan Simic has gone in motion, and he's tapped the rear end of Marvin Sutton. Now, I played the game a long time, but I still couldn't tell you why he does that. I mean, it's like, hey, Marvin, I'm here. Just want to let you know.
That's the end of the third quarter. We go into the final quarter here for the Junior Midget National Championship. The final 10 minutes. Look at the scoreboard. It's 13-6.
And we'll be right back to bring you the exciting fourth quarter. Remember, you're watching the best kids sports in America on Nickelodeon.
Super Bowl.
With the fourth and final quarter of the Pop Warner National Championship underway, let's rejoin Chris Collins and Scott Berry for the conclusion of this Super Bowl for kids.
Well, here's Bolingbrook now. Final 10 minutes of this game, trailing by 7. Third down and short. Oh, quarterback almost loses the ball, hands the ball off to his tailback, Taylor, and I don't believe Taylor got the first down. They're going to be gracious if they give him it. Heiser Shields made the play, and I believe he gained about a half yard on the play, so it's fourth down and a half yard. And hey, you've got 9:40 left on the, as you see him almost fall down and lose the exchange. They were lucky to get a half yard on the play. You're fourth down, half yard here. The ball is deep in your own end zone here. Or deep in your own territory. You've got to go for it, Scott Berry.
This is all or nothing, as they say, Chris. If you don't make it here, you put yourself in a real tough spot.
Ball's in the 26. Sutton back to pass, keeps the ball, and I believe, ooh, this is going to be a tight mark here. Sutton that time, the pump fake worked to a degree, but not all the way. Making the play was Kiemba McMillan. Are they going to measure this now? Officials timeout. I think they'll measure it. As you see Sutton now, he holds, ready to pump fake, keeps the ball, and McMillan wasn't fooled at all. He came right up and came across and pulled down Sutton. There's the spot.
Just short.
Yeah, they're going to be short. They're short by almost a full yard. So they turn the ball over on downs with 9:15 left here in this Junior Midget National Championship. Bolingbrook has had their backs put against the wall now. Oak Cliff can virtually run the ball now. Another score, I think Scott Berry may seal the fate today.
I think you're right. You know, that last fourth down play, that, as we said, it's all or nothing. When you're deep in your own territory like that, if you don't get it, you're in big trouble. I think what we've seen is that the kicking games aren't real strong for probably both the teams, and that's a situation where they're willing to take a risk. Also, Bolingbrook has shown that their defense is strong. If they can hold them here, they'll still get another shot at it.
Ball's in the 28, first and 10. There's a hand up right up the middle for about maybe the line of scrimmage, a half yard. Taking the ball was Andre Butler. They'll be content to run this ball and the clock. 8:50 and counting now. Nickelodeon's Junior Midget National Championship. Good to have you along. Chris Collins with Scott Berry and our buddy Craig Jackson on the sidelines. Exciting game today. Outstanding game. Good sportsmanship here today, too. As you see Butler get racked up at the line of scrimmage. Second down now. They give the ball off. Outside man looking for some running room. He's in big trouble, and he's run out of bounds. Boy, he's hit late out of bounds, too. May have lost about a yard on the play. Taking the ball was Israel Williams, and Williams that time was looking for an opening, Scott Berry, in that line of scrimmage, but the lineman didn't provide it for him.
They sure didn't, and made a little mistake there, went out of bounds. Probably not a finer point of the game that they probably don't concentrate on that much, is that when you're trying to run out the clock, when you've got a lead late in the game, you want to stay in bounds and keep that clock moving.
Clock is stopped, which is an advantage for Bolingbrook with 8:30 left here in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 12 now. Back to pass. Buford throwing downfield, got his man. It's tipped and incomplete. A nice play that time, and I'll tell you, Bolingbrook, you would know this, Scott Berry. Making the tip was Jezelowski, and you would know this as a quarterback. A defender on that kind of play has to bat the ball down because you don't want to try to tip the ball or get an interception and be a hero and have the ball bounce off your shoulder pads and land in the offensive player's hands and have a miraculous play happen. It's better to knock it to the ground and be safe.
It sure is, and you can see right here.
There's the tip. Jezelowski just batted it, tried to bat it onto the ground anyway.
Almost batted it right to
the offensive player's hands.
The Oak Cliff player.
Fourth down. There's a handoff up the middle. Not going to be enough for the first down. So Bolingbrook gets another chance. With 8:20, they're going to take over on downs. Taking the ball was Butler. Butler got it down to about the 24-yard line, and that's where Bolingbrook will come out now. Marvin Sutton comes out saying, come on, folks. It's our last chance here. Bringing back some of those big backs that have carried the ball so preciously for them today. Sutton getting his last instructions now from head coach Gary Linsmith. Talking over that offense right now. You know what this is like, Scott Berry, don't you?
Boy, you got to dig deep down inside and find something left. They're tired. It's been a long day. It's a warm day out here, but this is for the national championship.
Backs are split now, 1st and 10. Sutton gives off to the tailback, who may have made a mistake cutting back. He's dragged down for about a 4-yard loss. McMillan came in and made the play. You can see some of our crowd here today enjoying themselves. A lot of different cheerleaders here today, a very vocal group at that. 2nd and 15 now, loss of 5 on that first play. There's a handoff straight up the middle, breaking 1 tackle, 2. Same man as before, 3 tackles, finally brought down up at the 31-yard line. Taking the ball was Simic, and Simic atones for that 5-yard loss. Williams had to grab him down. A beautiful run that time. It'll bring up a 3rd down at about 4. Look at this at the line of scrimmage. 1 tackle, he breaks. Actually 2. There's 3 right there. Danced away from 3 people. Now he gets the angle on the play. Can't quite get away from the 4th man. When they get this play off, it'll be under 2 minutes left in the game. Bolingbrook from Illinois, the Trojans, trailing by 7 here. And looking for something, Scott, I think you're right. They got to start throwing the ball right now. And Oak Cliff is very aware of that right now. Sutton with his back split. 1st and 10. Gives off to the tailback, who's got some room outside, breaks 1 tackle, and is brought down after a 10.5-yard gain. It'll be another 1st down for Bolingbrook. A nice bit of running that time. Roberts was the man who made the tackle. Making the run was Simic. As you can see now, right at the line of scrimmage is where this play is made. Boom, right there. You see the speed that was put on. There, another tackle is broken. Simic made 2 excellent plays that time. And conceivably, this could be the last play of the game or the next to last play of the game. Everybody's a winner here, though, Scott Berry. They come in with a good grade point average in school. They've made it to a national championship they've been invited to. They've done an outstanding job. They have a lot to be proud of. Backs are split. 4th down. There's a pitch in the backfield, and it goes nowhere. Man is dragged back down. Now he breaks 1 tackle and is finally thrown out of bounds. Getting the ball was Enriquez. It looked like they were going to try to throw a quarterback option there, or a trick play that time. Enriquez that time, though, with all the pressure, couldn't get the ball away. And the clock will run. 9, 8, 7. As you see the sidelines right now, the cheerleaders are excited. And that Oak Cliff sideline, the Redskins are joyous. They are the junior midget national champions. The Oak Cliff Redskins from Oak Cliff, Texas, today with a 13-6 victory over a brilliant, gallant effort put up by the Bolingbrook Trojan football team. Wonderful game today here on Nickelodeon. 13-6. Scott Berry couldn't ask for a finer football game. 12 and 13-year-old junior midgets. They did a tremendous job till the end. Bolingbrook was fighting.
I was just thinking, wouldn't you like to be able to say to somebody right now, you were the junior national champion back in 1990? Wouldn't that be a nice thing to have? I mean, I would tell people that right now today. So it's a nice thing to have and to carry with you for the rest of your life.
Here's that 1 touchdown we told you about that went to Gregory Combs. Now watch Enriquez just missed the ball. Combs, a great catch over his right shoulder, is tripped up, keeps his balance. Look at him spread down the field, untouched, into the end zone. A last-ditch effort by Jizalowski, but Jizalowski could not catch up to him. And it's a touchdown. A beautiful, beautiful throw as the players congratulate each other out here. Coaches are out there. That's the best part of this game right here, are the coaches, the players, the cheerleaders, everybody going out and congratulating each other, because that's what the game's about. It's about going to school, getting good grades, staying in school, and playing good sportsmanlike football. So 13-6 now. Back to Nickelodeon.